watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Weatherly man died in a one-car crash Monday night in HAZLE Township. The accident happened shortly after 9 Monday night on Stockton Mountain Road and the intersection of East Diamond Avenue. The Luzerne County coroner was called to the scene and pronounced 73-year-old Michael Reese dead after he was ejected from his 2017 Chevrolet as it rolled over during the accident. Authorities are currently investigating that deadly wreck in HAZLE Township. A report of a suspicious vehicle led to the arrest of 5 people in Luzerne County back on June 24th. The Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit observed the vehicle registered to Carissa Ann Metz near a residence known for drug activity on Susquehanna Boulevard. While conducting the investigation, Hazleton Police coordinated with West Hazleton Police to take Metz, who was wanted on a felony arrest warrant, into custody. She was taken to prison on drug charges after being treated for a medical condition at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Jeremy Petrylak, Dylan Friendy, James Boyle, and Cassandra Metz were also arrested as a result of the investigation. Petrylak was wanted for failure to appear in court and taken to Luzerne County Prison. Boyle was wanted for DUI, and both Friendy and Cassandra Metz are facing drug charges. Fire crews responded to a report of a fire with possible entrapment Monday morning in Delano Township. Emergency responders were dispatched to a garage fire on Trenton Road shortly after 10 Monday morning. Initial reports indicated that someone may have been trapped inside, so crews quickly extinguished the fire and searched the structure. Fortunately, everyone was accounted for, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. A Wilkes-Barre man was arrested last Friday for allegedly putting a toddler in harm's way. A Wilkes-Barre police officer observed 23-year-old Austin Anthony Kochanski riding a dirt bike on North Meade Street with a young child sitting on the handlebars. Kochanski stopped the bike by his residence and was approached by the officer, who asked why he was operating the bike with the toddler. Kochanski responded by saying he didn't know what the big deal was, before fleeing the scene on foot. When he returned to his residence, he was placed into custody, and police also discovered that the dirt bike was reported stolen back on June 17th. Kochanski was charged with endangering the welfare of a child, receiving stolen property, resisting arrest, and numerous traffic violations. He was released from prison on $15,000 unsecured bail. A Senate bill was introduced to honor the life of a Scranton police officer who died in the line of duty. State Senators John Udicek and Marty Flynn introduced the legislation to help ensure that no other member of a law enforcement family has to endure what Officer Wilding's family's gone through. Wilding died back on July 12th of 2015 while pursuing 3 armed robbery suspects on foot. The trio was sentenced to serve 2 years in prison on third-degree murder charges. Senate Bill 814, also known as John Wilding's Law, would allow police to charge a suspect with a felony for fleeing on foot. The bill would also create a separate offense for injuring a police animal in the event that a suspect is evading arrest. The bill received bipartisan support and was referred to the Senate Judiciary Committee. Unemployment scams are on the rise, and State Representative Tara Toohill's office has advice on how to file a report with the proper authorities for those who have been affected by scams. Scammers are using phishing attempts and social media to gather personal information from unsuspecting victims in order to steal their identities and file fraudulent claims. Toohill said individuals can report a scam by visiting benefits.uc.pa.gov online and clicking the Report Fraud button to complete and submit an identity theft form. It's estimated that up to $400 billion may have been stolen nationwide by scammers working for criminal syndicates in China, Russia, and Nigeria. The Pennsylvania Attorney General is working to ensure that postal services run smoothly and effectively. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more.
State Attorney General Josh Shapiro visited the Lehigh Valley yesterday to address the issue of proposed cuts to the United States Postal Service. Shapiro said that whether you live in rural or urban areas, everyone deserves access to services offered through the mail. The proposed cuts would affect nearly 40% of all first-class mail nationwide.
That's why, back in 2020, I went to court to defend against the illegal changes implemented by the Postal Service and to stop Postmaster General DeJoy's changes that would slow down the mail.
Shapiro led a coalition last year and won a nationwide injunction that protected the flow of mail. He said that the proposed changes could hurt both communities and the residents that rely on postal services.
I'm talking about the millions of Americans, especially older Americans and our veterans, who use the USPS to pay their bills, to receive unemployment checks, or to get the medications they rely on.
When the pandemic hit last year, postal workers faced numerous challenges to keep up with the demand.
We suffered from employee shortages due to the illness. We saw a massive increase in packages coming through our system due to online shopping. And at the same time, we saw a Postmaster General who saw fit to reduce window hours, close small post offices, and remove mail sorting equipment from facilities. With an election that was mostly going to be dealt with through mail-in ballots, that was not a tenable situation to be in.
Shapiro believes that the second round of cuts and changes is illegal. He plans to go back to court if necessary to ensure that postal workers have the resources they need to do their jobs effectively. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on WYLN News, making a return to the riverfront, plus the 2020 postseason at MMI after COVID cancellations. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Jackson, and it looks like it's raining today or tomorrow. And always don't forget to watch the news every day.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman on WYLN TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander of Greater Hazleton, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. I hear stories there's no inventory out there. This is my back lot. We have over 100 Jeeps ready for immediate delivery, whether you're looking for a Renegade, a Cherokee, a Grand Cherokee. We've got them all. We have Ram trucks. Guys, if you're in the market for a Jeep, we are discounting them severely. Come on to Blaze Alexander at 508 Susquehanna Boulevard in Hazleton. And let me tell you something. We take the deals those other guys won't.
K through 12 schools across the Commonwealth can continue offering free school meals for the 2021-22 school year. The U.S. Department of Agriculture released waivers and eligibility guidelines Monday to allow schools to offer free meals without determining eligibility based on the student's household income. Participating schools will operate under the Seamless Summer option and receive a higher federal reimbursement rate per meal. Schools that do not elect to serve free meals will determine eligibility for free and reduced meals through the National School Lunch Program using federal income guidelines. Rockin the River will be making its return to the Wilkes-Barre riverfront this Friday, July 16th. Visit Luzerne County is excited to bring the series of 3 free concerts back to where it all started, with precautions in place to ensure everyone's comfort and safety. The community is invited to bring a chair or blanket to the Millennium Circle portal along the Susquehanna River in Wilkes-Barre from 5 to 7 p.m. to enjoy great music and fun for all ages. Food trucks and vendors will be dishing out everything from pizza and potato pancakes to barbecue and ice cream starting at 5 p.m. Plus, the Susquehanna Brewing Company will be on hand as well. So be sure to check out visitLuzerneCounty.com for the entire schedule. The Wilkes-Barre VA Medical Center will be hosting an enrollment fair Wednesday to offer veterans the opportunity to explore their eligibility for VA health care. The enrollment fair will take place tomorrow, July 14th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the outdoor pavilion behind the VA Medical Center at 1111 East End Boulevard in Wilkes-Barre. Veterans, both men and women, will be able to ask questions and start the enrollment process to determine their eligibility for VA health care. A veteran once deemed ineligible may become eligible if they experience changes in their income level, health, or suffer a catastrophic event. Veterans are encouraged to bring their DD-214 and general income information if available. WYLN's all-time OTC hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. MMI baseball and golf coach Ryan Jastrzemski's on this week, so let's talk sports. Here's part 2.
And I'm always a big one that's the thing I dislike the most about covering sports, when you see a senior athlete not have an opportunity to finish their senior campaign, whether boy or girl, however it is, illness, injury, that type of thing, and then COVID took it away from so many senior athletes. How hard was that initial discussion to those seniors that, hey, it's over?
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and it was just such a letdown to the whole program. It might sound funny, but it made it a little easier that you didn't have to do it in person, because everything we did from that point on was virtual. It was through a group chat or through a Zoom call or whatever it may be. If I had to get all those guys back in the same room again and look them in the eye and kind of tell them that it wasn't going to happen, that would have been much harder.
Right.
It was still hard the way it was, but yeah.
Yeah, very hard. And then this group that you had coming back, what was the off-season plan? Because at a year ago, nobody knew what to expect. So what was the off-season plan for the returning players?
Well, we didn't really have an off-season plan because we didn't know if we were going to have our season until late February of this year. The school board of directors and upper administration decided that only low-risk sports were going to be run in the fall and the winter. So the only 2 sports that got to run from fall 2020 or winter 2021 were golf and cross country. So we didn't have much of an off-season program. It really was the kids' responsibility on their own to stay in shape, to get game ready, to get practice ready. So, if we got the okay to go ahead with the season, these kids would be ready to go.
Coming up on Ginther's News Choice, we're talking pets, children, and hot cars on this Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 2. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hello folks, and welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN. We are joined as always by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And folks, today we're talking about, well, it's the summer, and we're going to be out there, and everybody knows every once in a while you leave your car out, you go grocery shopping, you go into the store, and the car gets hot. And we want to specifically highlight the dangers of that with having children or pets in the car, and why you shouldn't do that, and what happens if somebody reports you, or if it's found that you have a child or a pet in the car at that time. So why don't we start off just the general basics. And I hate that we have to explain this, but why you shouldn't leave a child or a pet in the car in the hot sun.
So this is a very serious topic, and unfortunately this does happen. You know, people think, well, I'm just running into the store for a minute, grab something. I got to take my kid out of the car seat. It's going to take longer. I'll just run in and grab it. But you know, you forget that it may be 80 degrees out and breezy, but that sun is beating down on that car. And even though it's 80 degrees outside, it might be 95 or 100 degrees inside the vehicle. It's not safe. It's not safe at all. And then, you know, you might run in the store, you might run into a friend or family member you haven't seen, you get to talking to them, next thing you know, it's 5-10 minutes. That could be dangerous for a child and for a pet, for a dog or a cat. So some important facts: don't do it. Don't leave them in the car. Because number one, it's unsafe. Number two, you can get arrested. And number three, somebody's going to call us. Whether it's a child, a dog or a cat, somebody's going to call us because people care about those three things, rightfully so. So here's some tips. Don't do it. If you just plan on running in, have somebody watch your child, or plain and simple, take your child in the store with you. If it's a pet, leave your pet at home. Now, I know a lot of pets like to ride in the car, stick their head out the window. I get it, right? It looks awesome. But you know what? It's not worth leaving your car or your animal in the car while you're in the store. Because here's what happens. Somebody's going to call us, and we'll talk about pets now. Somebody's going to call us that there's a dog or a cat that's left in the vehicle. And we're going to show up, and if we make an attempt and we cannot find the owner, we're going to get into that vehicle, okay? And recently there's been a bill in 2018 that was passed that protects police officers and first responders if we need to break a window to get into a car to rescue a pet, a dog or a cat. It protects us. We are not liable to pay for that window if we break it. Now, it does not protect citizens. It does not. It protects law enforcement, first responders. So if you're a citizen, what can you do? Call us. Call 911. Stay on the phone until we show up, because if you say it's in Walmart's parking lot and it's a gray van, there could be more than one gray van. So stay by the vehicle until we get there, flag us down, and we'll come and we'll handle it. Because if a citizen breaks the window, they're probably going to have to pay for that window, even though you're trying to do the right thing and save that dog or cat or that child, okay? Let us handle it.
And we kind of went over the dogs and cats a little bit, but in a situation that somebody is irresponsible like that, what are the consequences of when you guys arrive and getting that kid out of the car, and then what happens to that individual who does not follow those instructions and instead chooses to put their kid into an unsafe environment?
Plain and simple, criminal charges. I mean, if you're an adult and you're watching a kid, whether it's your child or somebody else's, you're responsible for that child. You could be arrested criminally. The child can be taken from you, put in protective services until the end of the investigation. I guarantee if a child's left in a hot car, somebody's going to smash the window before we get there. And if we're talking life or death, I totally understand it.
Yeah.
I totally understand. As far as an animal, a dog or a cat, let us do it. We won't be held responsible to pay. A citizen would. Call us, stay on the phone until we get there, give a good description, and we'll handle it. But more importantly, people, please do not leave a child, a dog, or a cat in a car. It gets hot in those cars.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks, plain and simple. We just covered it. Don't leave them in the car.
Don't do it.
Keep the pets at home, or if it's a child, bring the child in with you. There's no reason. It's going to get hot out there, and especially we've been seeing some pretty high temperatures. It's going to be hot this summer, so please, just bring the child with you, leave the pets at home, or find a situation, as the trooper explained, just whether it's leaving the window down and having somebody there to stay with them. Find a solution, but just don't leave them on their own in a hot car. So thank you for talking with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you, folks, for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
Hey guys, it's Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. I don't know where you're going to find a nice, good quality pre-owned truck. The word on the street is you can't find them anywhere. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Did I tell you we're at Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton? And I'm sure if you look hard enough for a used truck and go to a nice dealership that has inventory, you'll be able to find a pretty good selection. But the word on the street is you can't find any. So why don't you come here to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton and find out where we take the deals and have the trucks the other guys don't.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. WYLN-CA 35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Police Chief Brian Schoonmaker is leading the way into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Hazleton City Police Chief Brian Schoonmaker. So, that transition and taking that job as chief of police, you worked your years as a detective for a while, and when you were approached by Mayor Cassatt, what led to that kind of decision, and kind of what did you contemplate with that responsibility being kind of offered to you?
It was a huge burden to me at the time, as trying to sort out which I wanted to pursue. I mean, I enjoyed my position as a detective working with the Drug Enforcement Administration. I enjoyed all the co-workers I had at that time, but when Mayor Cassatt presented me with the challenge, he's like, listen, you know, we're in a tough spot. Do you think you could handle this? Do you think you could help out with this? You know, I've known Mayor Cassatt for years. He knows I have a business background for years, and he just kind of offered it to me, and after a little bit of struggle, I accepted it. And I think as we're moving forward, I'm enjoying it more and more every day.
And kind of the role as chief from Speziale, can you talk about how that all occurred and what led to that?
I can't say to Chief Speziale's leaving, but I can say that after he left, he and I were in conversation almost daily. I mean, it was probably 2-3 times a day that we were back and forth, and he was filling me in on the day-to-day of what he had working and different grants that were being explored and applied for, and he was fantastic with helping me grow into this role.
All right. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Chief Schoonmaker continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.